Hey, so today I'm going to show you a super simple way of how to calculate the ROI or the profitability of building backlinks to your website. And why you should do it in the first place is that in most cases, in most niches in terms of SEO, the biggest differentiator in rankings or the biggest needle mover that you can do something about to push your rankings higher is backlinks. Because most businesses in competitive niches, like the first thing you need to rank on Google and also now on AI as well, is you need to have a dedicated landing page that talks about or targets the specific search phrase that people type into Google. So that's the first thing you need. So in this example that I have here on Ahrefs is silk pajamas. So if somebody is searching for silk pajamas for women, this is a rather high ticket product in terms of e-commerce products. They usually cost around $300, $400. But anyway, you need to have a dedicated landing page. So you need to have a dedicated collection page if you're an e-commerce store or even a product page. So first of all, you need to have a page, but many of your competitors also have pages. So then the second thing is optimization, how well that page is optimized. But this is not that hard to do. Of course, you need to know SEO. You probably need an agency or somebody that knows SEO and has access to SEO tools to do the optimization. But this isn't also something that's too hard to do. The hardest part, the most difficult part that usually determines who ranks number one and who ranks number 105 is the amount of backlinks that you have built to that specific page. And backlinks are one of the most important things to do and the biggest ranking drivers for a reason, because they are one of the hardest things to manipulate or to actually build and to do. They're really hard because it's almost like a sales activity. You have to do basically like sales to generate backlinks for your brand, for yourself. So that's really hard to do. And that's also why Google and AI are heavily using backlinks as a ranking signal, because this is one of the hardest things to manipulate or do something about. So it's really hard for most businesses to do something about it. And if you are building backlinks, it is really important, first of all, for you to know, is it even worth to build backlinks? Then how many backlinks you need to build? And then thirdly, what's the ROI? So let's say I invest $5,000 into backlinks. What do I get in return? Because I wouldn't want to do it in vain. So I have another video about how many backlinks you need to build, which goes into more detail in terms of how many links, how to figure out how many links you need to build. And this is also something we do for our link building clients as well. Whenever somebody wants us to build links for their business, for their brand, we always check, is it even worth building links? Maybe there's something else they need. Maybe they need optimizations. Maybe they need build out dedicated landing pages. We can also help with that. But most of our clients that come to us that need links, they have all of the other things already in place. And then it's just a matter of how many links they need to build, to which pages they need to build links to, and which pages have the highest ROI, which pages bring the most profits when building links. And this usually comes down to the level of competition. So now I'm going to just show you a quick way to measure this and to figure out the ROI of building backlinks. Is it even worth doing? And which page you should start building links to first, or which page is the most profitable to build links to? And the calculation itself is pretty straightforward and simple. I just created a simple Google sheet here that, by the way, you can get if you want. I'm going to add it as the first link in the description. You can capture this and you can grab this if you want. It's pretty simple. But the idea here is that you just want to figure out what's the extra traffic that you would be generating if you were to rank number one, how much each visitor is worth to you, how many backlinks you need to build, and this is going to give you an ROI. If you invest $1,000, what's the percentage of return that you're going to get? And the best use case for us, as I said before, is for two reasons. First of all, does the client that we are working on or helping even need backlinks? Is it even profitable for them? Because we don't want to build backlinks for a client that doesn't really need them, or if it's not worth it to them. That's the first thing. Are backlinks even needed? And secondly, which page would benefit or which page would generate the most profits from building backlinks? Because then you can reinvest the profits into ranking other pages as well. So that's the idea. Many clients usually have like tens, if not hundreds of different pages. And usually the case is that 50 of the pages need backlinks and another 50 do not, because there's no link gap or there's like links are not going to help them. There are other factors. So then they should start from the pages that actually need backlinks and then start again from the pages that need the backlinks the most, that have the highest ROI. Sorry for going on a tangent here. That's the main point of doing it and now how to actually do it. So let's just bring an example from here, this one. So this is the silk pajamas. So if we look at the prices for these products, the first thing I want to mark down is, this is something you might already know for yourself, but one thing I will always want to make sure is how much is a visitor worth to the client. So this is in euros. So let's just, euros are stronger than dollars right now, but let's just say that the average silk pajama costs around $300. And if you like, for e-commerce, usually the average conversion rate is between 2 to 5%, rough US based benchmark. So this means that 100 people that go to the launch, out of 100, 2 to 5 will actually purchase the product. So let's be conservative and use as the benchmark here. So for the visitor worth, we're going to do this calculation. If the product costs $300, and so what we're going to do is to mark down 300, and we're going to multiply it by the conversion rate. If 2 to 5% of people are going to actually buy it, let's use the conservative number of 2%. So 2% conversion rate. This means that the visitor worth is $6. And the simple formula for this is just what the product costs and what's the conversion rate. That gives you simply the visitor. Now we need two more things. How much extra traffic you would be generating if you were to rank higher, and how many links you need. And these kinds of numbers we can get from the Ahrefs results here. By the way, you need access to either Ahrefs or SEMrush to get these numbers. And the simple way to look at it is, let's say that you are currently ranking in the 4th position here, negativeunderwear.com, you are this company. And right now you're getting around 2,200 visitors. And the number 1 ranker is getting 11,900 visitors. For simplicity's sake, let's just use these numbers. So you need to know the difference. So 1,100 minus 2,300. This is the monthly extra traffic that you would be generating. This is the annual extra traffic that you would be generating if you were to rank number 1. Now the next step is how many backlinks you need. And by the way, this is a simplistic way of doing it. There's more nuances to it. If you do this, you will already way better off than most of your competitors. Most people never do this kind of calculation, and this is absolutely essential. Now the next step is to know how many backlinks you need to build. So instead of looking at backlinks, look at the domains here. What's the gap in referring domains? Because Google usually takes into account one link from one domain. So it's simple. Similar to voting. If you're voting on elections, one person can vote for one time, and Google is working the same way, because if it wouldn't do that, if you have a friend who has another website, that friend could add 100 links from his one website to your business. And that would be easy to manipulate and easy to use. That's why Google mainly relies on one link from one website. So if your friend has a website and sends 100 links to your business to push your business higher, only one of those links is going to count. So that's why you usually should look at the referring domain, so the domains number here, and look at the gap or measure the gap here. So top ranker has 23, you have 4. So in simplistic terms, in order for you to beat them, you need to have more. And usually I recommend to add a margin of at least 20%. So if they have 23, you can add 20%. 10% is 2, 20% is 4. So let's say you need 27 and you currently have 4. So 27 minus 4 is 23. And don't worry about it too much. In simplistic terms, what you can also do is just get the difference from here. So 23 minus 4 is 19, and just add 2 or 3 links. That's a simpler way to do it. Once again, 19 links, add 2 or 3. So 22 links is the gap. Now I'm going to add 22 backlinks. And if the average backlink costs around $350, the total cost that I need to invest into backlinks is $7,700. And the extra income that I will be generating from ranking number 1, from the extra traffic that I'm generating, is this much. And this only takes into account one-time purchases. Usually if you have somebody that buys a product from your store, if you are an e-commerce store, they will not just buy once, because if you do a great job with them, like the job with e-commerce stores is to maximize customer lifetime value. So once you capture one visitor to your business, you will do whatever it takes, usually, to sell them more products. So the customer lifetime is actually higher. This is just measuring this one-time purchase from Google. And the ROI is 8,900% a year. So this is super high. Of course, I deliberately chose this number. In most cases, it's not that high, although this is still definitely doable. And backlinks isn't the only ranking factor. Of course, there are other things as well. You still need to do this calculation. And this is what we do for our clients as well. And then we do it for multiple different pages. If the client has multiple products or multiple services, doesn't matter. And this is what you need to do to measure the actual difference. And I can bring another example from a law firm here. Let's say you are a law firm. The first example was for e-commerce stores, which is specific to e-commerce. But let's say you are a service business, a law firm, and you want to rank for New York same-sex divorce lawyer. Let's say you have a page in place, but none of your competitors have backlinks here. So you see here, all of these top rankers, they do have a page, but none of them have any backlinks. So in order for you to rank number 1, you probably need to at least have 2 or 3 backlinks. So if the gap is 0, then usually to be more conservative with the calculations, I try to add 2 or 3. So let's say you need 2 backlinks to rank number 1 if you have a page, and the gap needed is 2. The visitor for family law firms, website visitors, is usually $125 per visit. And this comes from what's the customer lifetime value for a family law firm. So it's $8,000 to $11,000 on average. How many of them actually convert to become leads? How many of those leads actually turn into customers, and so on? So this is ChatGPT's best guess estimation based on the calculations, which leads to $125 per website visit. Family law is such a high ticket service. That's why it's so much higher. So that's $125 here. And the extra traffic that you would be generating, it wasn't that much. It was only 67, top ranker is 67, so the difference is 60 visitors a month. So the extra traffic is 720 visitors a year. And at the backlink cost of $350 per backlink, you need 2 backlinks, so $700 of extra cost. Extra annual income, $90,000 for this one landing page. The ROI is even higher here, 12,857%. It's a high number, but the actual income isn't that high. $90,000 a year for a law firm isn't that much, but right now their competitors are getting it, and they are not getting it. So definitely don't want to leave this traffic to this. Again, sometimes backlinks are not going to do anything for you. Let's say you're on the second position and Wiki is ranking in the first position. You're probably not going to beat Wikipedia because Google wants to rank Wikipedia. So there are so many nuances to these calculations, but still, you need to do these numbers if you actually want to rank, and especially if you're in a competitive niche, but also if you're not in a competitive niche. Like this same-sex marriage keyword here. Random, obscure keyword, I know, but it's highly lucrative. And I found another keyword for family law. Divorce lawyer, New York City costs. So New York City is such a high-ticket city. The average wealth of a family there is one of the highest in the United States. And the top rankers, like if somebody's searching for how much does a divorce lawyer cost in New York City, they are obviously looking for a divorce lawyer. And most businesses, if you want to rank, you need a blog article. Many businesses have blog articles, but the top ranker has 2 backlinks. Some of them do have links, but they have less links. This one has more, but the links are really low quality. They just have higher quality links. You always need to build high quality links, which is one of the main things I always say, because otherwise you're just spinning your wheels. If you build low quality links, they're not going to do anything. Like you see here, like they built 5 links, but their links are poor quality, so they're not really doing anything to help them rank higher. So yeah, that's the overall process at a glance. So once again, you need to know how much is a visitor worth to you. You can use ChatGPT to figure out this number, or you can use basic calculations. What's average customer worth and what's the average conversion rate, and multiply these together. What's the extra traffic? You can get this from Ahrefs or SEMrush. And what's the backlink cost? You can just use $350. That's a ballpark number. And by getting these numbers, you will be able to know, does the page even need backlinks? How many links it needs? And what's the ROI of building those backlinks? And if SEO is important for your niche, then backlinks usually in most cases are a high ROI activity. Because this ROI is only based on 1 year, but usually if you rank number 1, you're going to stay there for a few years if you know what you're doing. So the ROI gets even bigger. But again, sometimes it doesn't work. Like you also might be building backlinks and they might not move the needle at all. But in these kinds of cases, even if you see you need 22 links, don't just build 22 links and see what happened. You start building those links, like 1, 2, or 3 links, and you see the rankings increase. If yes, then you build some more to increase the ranking even further, and so on. So it isn't like a blanket 7,700 cost, one-time cost. It's like a gradual thing that you can then monitor and see is it working or not, to then double down or just to skip and move on to another page. An early subject, I know. If I bored you to death, sorry about it. But I hope this was useful. You can capture or you can get the Google Sheet from the first link in the description. And also if you want us, me and my team, to build backlinks for your business, or if you want us to audit which pages need links, just you can find my information from the description as well. And you can get in touch with me. So thank you. Best of luck. Bye-bye.